Well, here we are after a whole summer of rain, floods, storms. We finally got a couple of days of sunshine, so I'm jumping in there to put a hive into the long laying at long last. Come along for the ride. Now, my original plan was to do this at night time, just to deal with the orientation problem from the original position of the colony to the new position. And I was going to put twigs and so on in front of the entrance so that it would force them to reorient. It's after 3 in the afternoon now, but I just don't want to have to deal with all of that later on. I'm running out of time already. So to keep it simple, I'm just going to grab a colony I've got right next to where I've put the long laying. It's within that 3 feet, within that metre. They'll adapt fine. And I'm just going to keep it simple. I'll just open up the box, transfer the frames straight in. The entrance is down at one end on my long laying, the same orientation of where their original entrance is. Now, when I do cutouts from logs or from walls, I find that the brood is right next to the entrance, and I figure that must have something to do with making it easier to regulate the temperature and humidity. But I'm thinking I might just put one frame of honey in there as an insulator, and they can make their choice after that. They might empty that out and fill it with brood anyway. But I'll just figure I'll leave that one frame of honey next to it, put all the brood in, and then whatever honey I'll give them. And if I decide to add drawn comb, then I'll put that closest to the brood so the workers don't have to go further through. It's this little box over here. It's a single brood chamber, and that's a super on top with an excluder in the middle. This is a long way, so I'm going to open it up ready to go. And what I think I'll do is I'll just pick up the boxes, bring them around to this side, and put them over one frame at a time. So I'll just open up and prepare here. Open up the covers that I've made. So with all this rain we've had, it's been a couple of months since I've done an inspection at all, so I'll take an opportunity for a quick inspection. I'll give them a bit of smoke around the front. And I'm inclined to leave the lid on and just move it over. That's pretty light, so I don't reckon there's any honey in there. They've been eating it through the rain. And they're fairly quiet. I don't think they'll be too happy about this cold temperature that I'm lifting them up from. So I'm going to get them in there as quick as I can. All right, they're being pretty calm right now. So I'm just going to pop in there, spend the least amount of time I can disrupting them, and get them over to the new box quick as I can. Now that's not drawn out very much, so I'm just going to pop that in the end at the moment and see if we've got better activity down here. That's pretty light on. Not a bad cover of bees, bit of brood, and oh, now I haven't got the base on this, so this is actually upsetting them a bit because they fall off the frames and go all the way through. So I'm just going to move this so they'll land on the lid instead, and then they can climb straight up. See a fair few beetle in there too, and that's been typical of our season. So we got cat brood there. Not great cover. I might not be putting the strongest colony on there, but it's the nearest colony, so it's going to have to do. Just trying to gently lift them up. Looking out for the queen as well. Can't see the queen there. Only a tiny bit of brood there. They're not doing good. But I'm not going to intervene with anything at the moment because I just don't have time. Just some nectar in that one. Might actually put that up here. Right, that's why she's light, no honey, just a bit of drawn comb. So obviously when I finally did put a super on here, it turned sour on them. I didn't get a chance to get in there. There's a lot of moisture in there as well, and that would not have been helping these girls at all. So I've got no honey. I think I'm going to have to feed them. I didn't spot the queen. I can't be sure if they're queenless. So I've just put the follower board on. So I've closed that up as much as I can there. Now I'll put covers on, or put on a beetle trap. And just cover them up. Get the heat staying in there. All right. They can find their way in. You can see the confusion back at the original entrance there. The box is not there. Obviously I'm going to take that baseboard away and I'll shake the bees on the long lang so they can find their way in. There's activity around the entrance. They're getting used to it in there. I am concerned about this colony. They've not done well over the course of the very wet summer that we've had, and I've not been able to open them up. I'm just going to put this lid so they can use it as a ramp to get up. I do have those guardian entrances on, so hopefully that'll stop any new beetles getting in. There's quite a few floating around the outside here. plenty got in with the frames that I moved over. If it was warm and sunny, I would have spent a bit more time hunting those out before putting the frames in. And I'd also give these bees some feed tonight, but I just don't have time before it gets too cold. We're in autumn and each of the days are getting shorter and we don't get as much time as we'd like to look after our bees. Anyway, this is it, colony in the Long Lang at long last. I think I'm going to have to do some tender loving care, maybe even find a queen if they don't have one. We're due for more rain, not tomorrow, but from then on. Forecast goes, I've got a sunny day tomorrow, so I'll be checking out all the other hives to see how they are. Anyway, that's the Long Lang occupied. Not quite as good as I'd wanted, but thanks for joining me. If you like what you see, by all means, give us a thumbs up, subscribe and also leave a comment. Give me some hints on what you would have done. We'll see you in the next video.